Hello, everybody. We are back today for a midweek wrap up of the HOPI Calendar on Chapter 8. This is a spillover from our weekly Lion Share series, and we have, of course, our beautiful Laura to join us.
Well, thank you, Eric. I am glad to join all of you midweek here to continue the conversation about this chapter. The Hopi calendar was one of the things that I found intriguing because I was not really able to discern any oddities out of it that might indicate a clue. But I hear that you, our treasure hunting genius, have come up with
Oh,
something you want to share with me.
contraire, not my genius, but something that I picked up on Mysterious Writings Substack. If you're not following Jenny Kyle from there, I highly recommend you do because she has some really good treasure hunt stuff, not just for TTI, but for all the treasure hunts that are going on, if that's something that you're doing. But before we start, I do want to call out, and I'm not sure how many people have the first edition of There's Treasure Inside book, but it is noted on his website that on the Hopi calendar on page 85 has the description for July mistakenly the same as August. So I'm not even going to try to pronounce what was changed,
Yeah.
but make sure that you have an updated version. Well, I will say it. He said this has now been updated to say Talgnava Ninan Home Dance. So page 85, description for July was mistakenly the same as August, but now this has now been updated to say Talangva. Ninan
Talangva is how I would say it.
Langva
Talangva.
Langva Ninan Home
Niman
Dance.
home dance.
Yeah. So just to put that out there first, in case you're looking at yours and say, "Oh, I see a clue. There's two that are the same." That's something I would do, but I did. Ours is updated as well as the ebook, at least
Mhm.
with Apple Books. That's what I have.
Yeah.
So that being said, I'll get right to what I found. So on the picture of the Hopi calendar, and I'll put these up on the screen, but we have dates that go around the outside of the perimeter of the circle. And if you look close enough, and I didn't see this at first because honestly I didn't pay much attention to it, but there are little lines that are either over or under a letter. And I'll go over the months that have that. We have January, which there's a line over the N in January. In February, there's a line under the E. In April, there's a line under the letter R and the letter L. In May, there's a line over the letter A. And in August, there's a line under the T. So all the letters that were underlined are E, R, L, and T. And the letters that have a line over them are NA. Now, what does that mean? Now, since I'm citing Mysterious Writings, and I have seen it other places too, but I saw it there first. This could be anagrammed to read a number of words, but antler was one of them. So before we get even deeper into that, Laura, what do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
So I think there's a huge amount of validity to this. One of the comments that I made on our last episode is clearly the calendar is here for a purpose because it's not tied to the text itself or what he's writing about. Sure, he talks about Hopi culture, which is great, but he doesn't go into in depth into anything, or I think there isn't even a mention of the calendar. It just kind of sits there on the next page.
Yeah.
So I really felt strongly that there was some sort of clue, and I was super intrigued when you shared about the lines over and under some of the letters. The fact that it's just a few of them even makes me more convinced that those lines are significant.
Yeah, I'm about ready to blow your mind again with something that I picked up that was so first, and I'll have this on the screen. We have the picture of the HOPI calendar from southwesttraditions.com. This is what the HOPI calendar would look like outside of the book. Then we have the one next to it that there's Treasure Inside book. I wanted to see what was different, right? I didn't want to compare it without knowing, hey, this is different, right? Like they're both circular, they're both split up into months in their different quadrants, and they both have the same text inside those inner quadrants. Now they're and the angle inside the middle circle is the same, although it's the one I see solid bar. That one's a hollow bar, but I don't think that's
Yeah,
something.
I think that's just stylistic. Yeah.
However, along with the lines above and below the letters in the outside circle of the months, you have in the inside circle, or the one with the winter social dances and things like that, there's a red line that separates the 21st winter solstice in December, and there's a red line that separates in June the 21st summer solstice. Now, at first I thought, well, the 21st summer solstice is above or below what it meant below it, but it's the same in the other picture. So that was the first thing I saw. Then I saw the red line, which there isn't a divider in the other picture. So what does that mean? Is this something, are we supposed to anagram the letters possibly that were under and overlined? Or is this, the line over it, is that supposed to indicate the wording in red? Is something to pay attention to, and the ones that are under is we look at the stuff below it, right? Am I explaining that correctly? But even so, if you do that, I didn't get anything clear, that maybe because I'm looking for the wrong thing, right? I'm looking for something that would logically make sense to me, but that's not always the case.
Right.
So these,
I personally don't think that those red lines separating the winter solstice and summer solstice information from the name and the ceremony, I don't think it has significance.
Yeah, I wasn't sure until I started looking at it and said,
Yeah. I'm not sure, because it's different than what we see around the perimeter with the very subtle lines above and below.
Yeah.
That's more stylistic, like just there to break up the text a bit. I could be wrong, though.
Yeah. But with the lines over and under the letters, that's telling us, I mean, because he says pay attention to detail throughout the book, at least what we've covered so far. And for him to take up an entire page of real estate with this picture, I mean, this takes up a whole page. And that's
right.
pretty significant in a chapter that are relatively short. And then to modify it to the point of something very deliberate. It's not like a style, a different font or whatever. I
Right.
mean, he specifically placed a line faintly above or below
Yeah.
specific letters, not just, all of them or
So
there's no rhyme or reason behind it.
on the lines that are under or over some of the letters, do you think that there's significance to whether it's over or under?
I do. Or why else wouldn't he do that?
Yeah, why wouldn't he do them all the same? All of them over or all of them under? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because then I made another list. If you have the January where the line is over the end is under the winter's social dances and the Paimua. Then February, well, you can follow around at home. I don't have to repeat what they say because some of these are hard for me to pronounce.
Yeah.
So I was trying to see if there was a pattern here, right? And from the time I've spent on it, I haven't. I haven't seen anything that stuck out at me. But I
The
know
only
go ahead.
thing that stands out to me is perhaps it indicates an order, like the overs come first and then the unders,
Yeah.
or vice versa. If you're anagramming them. So if we're trying to form those 6 letters into a word, have we talked yet? I don't think you've mentioned some of the word options that potentially it could be.
Yeah, there were 3. I didn't write them down, unfortunately, but they didn't have any really meaning, at least not
Well,
to
the
me.
first one that stood out to me that I remember her saying was antler.
Right.
And so antler, if you do the over letters first and then the under letters second, that works.
Oh,
That,
okay. Wow.
yeah. So A and N are over letters, TLER are under letters. So I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
And, I think antler, it's not just a throwaway word in my mind without connection. We just don't know yet. When we start narrowing down our location for this box, I think having that keyword of antler hanging out there is
Yeah.
interesting. Like, is that a place in a place name, or does it have a significance for, you know, something like that, something that occurred, a history of the place. So I think antler is a word to hang on to out of this HOPI calendar.
Yeah. Or did you think they could be abbreviated also for something?
That the letters ANTLER could be used in an abbreviation.
Yeah, like a 2-word abbreviation or something.
Could.
So it was something that I just threw on Laura today, so we didn't have much
Oh,
time
I
to.
think rental is one as well. RENTAL, rental.
Yeah.
Rental doesn't feel as compelling to me as antler, seeing as we're out in
Right.
nature when we're looking for the books.
Yeah, we're looking for a rental in nature.
Yeah, we're looking for a rental, a yurt.
That's right. Hey, boots on the ground.
Yes.
So
Yeah. So I think this the letters the letters themselves that are overlined or underlined make it into the list of things that we think are clues as to the location. I don't know that I would specifically say it's antler, though it might be. I think that's a really good guess. But I think it's as we're trying to narrow down our location and we're seeing names of geographic places or what have you, then we take a relook at those letters and we go, okay, within the context of this location that we see on the map, is there anything? Does this translate into anything? I mean, it could be a geographic name that doesn't align with a common word. It's just a name.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't know that that's the case until we're looking at a map or in that geography.
Yeah.
So I don't think we can rule it out just because a word anagram doesn't make sense. What if it's, a last name of an early settler or something like that?
Yeah, true. It's definitely something that I won't forget now. Antler, that'll go on our list. And as we go through other chapters, we can put it together and see if it does apply somewhere else, or how else it could fit in there.
Yeah.
Because there's some other thoughts that I've heard, that if you lined up all the angles and the coins on it, that would be the fifth coin angle. But I don't know, to me, because the angle in the middle of the circle is in the original one as well, coincidental could be.
Yeah.
It's just not working for me.
No.
you
Yeah, I
know
agree. He didn't create that. I saw that in multiple versions of that calendar that I looked
right.
at. And so then which means it would, if that was true, he'd had to work it in reverse and only choose coins that would meet that angle. And I can't see that happening.
Yeah, that would be pretty complex to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that I think is good stuff for this, and I hope our listeners, as they've been doing so graciously already, posting their comments on what their thoughts are on it,
Yeah.
because this to me is all new.
Yeah, and we love to dig in. If you share your ideas, and we've had quite a few people do that in the last few days, we love to dig in and research it and read about it and consider your perspective. So please do continue sharing as you feel comfortable. It certainly brightens our day when you guys send things over for us to take a look at.
Yeah, it's really nice. So that pretty much wraps it up for chapter 8. So now Sunday we can go fresh into chapter 9 without having to worry about closing this up. So
Yeah, great. Looking forward to it.
yeah. So thank you, Laura, for joining me. And this is part of my plot to get you on the midweek ones. But anyway.
Right. Well, you bought me Chinese food because I agreed to join, so I'm okay with that.
That's right. All right, everybody. We will see you on Sunday. So have a great week, and make sure you put some comments in there what you think about the HOPI calendar.
Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.